Hey guys, welcome to a new Blender tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to make this castle in Blender. So I'm going to show you my process on how I made this gothic castle in Blender 2.9. So I'll be sharing a few modeling tips and tricks, and if you want to download this project file, you can check out my Patreon page. So if you don't know about the Patreon is a site where I upload all my projects. So I'll leave a link down in the description if you're interested. And before you follow along, make sure that you download all the textures. So I'll link all the textures down in the description. Okay, so first we are going to start by opening up our reference image. So this is the reference image that I got. So this is a generic gothic castle, as you can see. And we'll start by modeling the windows. For that we'll need the window reference image. So just open that. And we can model this in multiple ways. There are multiple approaches, but I'm going to use a very simple approach. So we are going to add a circle and go in the edit mode, and we are going to basically trace out this shape. So select a vertex and press E to extrude. Just extruding these vertices and edges. And to merge two vertices, you can press the M key. So once you have traced out the edge loop, you can press the F key to fill in the face, and just shift D to duplicate them. So as you can see, it is nothing fancy, just basic stuff. So just merging the vertices and filling the faces and tracing out the basic shape of these windows. So after you have traced your shape, we are going to add a solidify modifier. After adding the solidify modifier, we are going to go in the edit mode, shift D, duplicate that vertex, and we are going to start tracing the frame of the window. So the whole outer part of the window. So we are going to trace that arch. So just trace that. Again, we are going to follow that similar process of extruding the vertices. So once you have traced out these two things, we are going to use the Boolean modifier to generate our window. Select the first object and move it inside the second object. So basically move it inside the frame of the window, and that height will basically define the emboss effect. So add a Boolean modifier to the frame and select the circle. Now if you hide the circle, so just press your H key. So that's how easy it was to make a window. Now it's time to add some materials. So go to your edit mode, go to the front view, select everything, and you can press your U key and you can select project from view. So we have a nice front view projection. Now add a new material, rename it to something like window, and add an image texture and choose that reference image. Now we can see our image, but it is not properly mapped. So go to your UV mapping, scale it down and position this. And once you go into the material view, as you can see, it's looking pretty good. To add more realism, go to your edit mode again and select all these faces. So select all the window faces excluding the frame of the window. Once you have those selected, add a new material, add that window material and duplicate that window material. So you need to make this material a single user material. So you need to hit that 2 button. You can reduce the roughness and increase the specularity. And there you go, we have some specular glass. So it looks really quite cool and realistic. Okay, so we are done with the window. You can hide that. And I'm going to add a cylinder and we are going to start modeling the towers of this castle. So I've just added a cylinder and I'm pressing Ctrl R to add those loop cuts. Just moving that face down and adding some loop cuts. So I'll add 3 loop cuts. And you can press your Alt key and select those edges. And once those edge loops are selected, you can just scale them on each axis. So S2 scale. When that's done, we are going to add a cone, and this cone will be the roof of this tower. E to extrude the bottom face, and S to scale it down. So I'm just giving it a roof shape, nothing fancy. Basic stuff. Again, Ctrl R to add a loop cut and move that loop cut down to give it a bevel. Okay, so now when we are done with the modeling of this tower, we are going to add some materials. So go into the material tab and we are going to use 4 materials. So I'm going to add the bricks material, the roof material, the bottom material, and I'm going to go in my edit mode and select those ridges. So B2 box select, and you can select those. Once those are selected, you can add one more material, and that will be the ridge material or the beam material. You can call it whatever you like, and just assign that. So basically now we have made our materials, we'll have to assign these materials to particular faces. So just select those faces and assign the appropriate material. Okay, so once all these materials are assigned, we are going to define each material and make each material. So we'll start with the bricks material. Go Shift A and add a basic image node texture, and you can press Ctrl T to get the mapping and the texture coordinate. The mapping basically allows you to map the texture and the UVs. We are going to use a basic PBR workflow for this. So the albedo texture, the roughness texture, the normal map, and the height map. So just duplicate that and open each texture. So one for the roughness, one for the normal map, and one for the height map. Now for the normal map and the height map, we'll need two nodes, the normal map node and the bump map node. So the bump node combines the normal and the height. So connect the height into the height, and the normal map into the normal map, and the normal into the normal of the bump. Finally connect the bump into the principal shader. And as you can see, we get a cool PBR material. So we are going to make the roof material now. So following similar steps, and for the roof I don't have a height map. So you can directly connect the normal into the principal shader. That will work too. You can change the mapping, maybe rotate it. Okay, now we are going to make the bottom material. So I'm going to cylinder project this, and I'm going to use a rock texture for this. Go in your UV editor, and I'm just moving these UVs, and that looks quite good. So now when we have our materials done, we are going to add the windows that we modeled. And go to the top view, and then you can duplicate this window and rotate this window. Now this is again completely up to you, so you can randomly select windows, duplicate them and rotate them. Just make sure that you are not following a pattern, like you are not repeating stuff, because when you are making these large scale environments and large scale scenes, you can really spot the repetition from a far away distance. We are done with the big tower. We are going to make the small tower. Again, we are going to duplicate the big tower for the small tower, and we are going to give it some randomization, so rotating it on the Z-axis and changing the positions and the orientations of these windows. Again, randomization is the key thing when you are doing something like this. Give it the appropriate scale, and we need to align the bottom section of each asset. So just aligning that, because when we are going to merge these, it should look seamless. So yeah, that looks good. So now we have our two assets done. So we are going to make the third asset, and this is going to be a small building. So for this building, I'm going to slice this cube into half and fill in that face. Now we have a rectangular cuboid. So we are going to just scale it down, and I'm going to add a plane. And this plane will be the roof of this building. So just positioning this. After you have positioned this plane, you can add a loop cut to this. So Ctrl R, add a loop cut, and just move that edge up. And as you can see, that's how easy it is to make a roof. Now you can add a solidify modifier. For the roof, add the roof material, and before actually manipulating the mapping and stuff, make sure that you have made this material into a single user material. Otherwise, if you change one thing in this without making it a single user material, you will change all the materials globally. So make sure that you don't do that. Similarly, adding the bricks material, applying a basic cube projection, adding the bottom material, and going into the UV panel, into the UV editor, and rotating it 180 degrees so that it lines up. That looks quite good. Again, this building needs some windows, so add some windows. Now we need to make this model a modular asset. So we don't need to do anything in this case. This is already modular because it is following that symmetry. You can add an array modifier and maybe tweak the positioning of these windows. And as you can see, it looks quite good. So we have modeled the small building. Now we are going to model the cathedral. adding a basic cube, adding loop cuts. So I'm not using any advanced modeling techniques in this tutorial. I'm just using basic stuff like extruding and loop cuts and stuff. Select those edges and scale them down on the x-axis. So give it a roof shape. You can select those faces, Shift D, duplicate that, hit P on your keyboard and P by selection, so make it a different object. Now add a solidify modifier to that to give the roof some thickness. Maybe scale it up. We'll add some materials again, starting with the bottom material. Just scaling the UVs up and positioning this. Scaling the UVs up to match everything. And for the roof, actually we are going to slice the roof into half because we are going to use the mirror modifier. So the UVs also will be automatically mirrored, so we don't need to worry about the UVs. After deleting the half portion of this roof, you can go to your top view and you can basically project the UVs from view and add a roof material. Again, the roof texture is rotated in a weird way, so just rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, that looks quite good. Now it's quite easy, add a mirror modifier and as you can see automatically the UVs are mirrored. Adding 2 rows of windows here. Now we need to model the main window of the cathedral. You can totally get away and use the window that we made earlier, but I'm going to use a different window for some variation. So we are going to follow the same process when we made the first window. So we are just going to trace this out and fill in those faces. After you have traced this, we need to add a solidify modifier to this. Now the actual glass parts of the windows are traced, but we need to trace the outer frame of the window. So for that, add a circle and E to extrude it on the y-axis. Now add a boolean modifier to that and select the circle. And as you can see, we have our second window. That looks quite good. Now we need to UV map this thing. So select this, select all the faces and project from view. So we have a front projection. Add a new material and open that reference image. Now it's quite easy, go into the UV editor and align the UVs. And it doesn't need to be perfect, like it should roughly be aligned. Now that we have a window material, we are going to make the glass material. So select all the glass parts, add a new material, select that window material and make it a single user. And now you can reduce the roughness and increase the specularity. And now we get a cool window. So we are going to add this window to the cathedral that we made. I also added a hue and saturation node, but this is completely optional, so you can skip this. So now our cathedral is looking good. You can do many more things, but I'm going to leave it like this. Now we are going to duplicate the cathedral and we are going to delete all the windows. And we are going to make the big building. So just rotate that and add some windows. That looks quite good. And this will use the array modifier. So just add that array modifier. And you need to add the array modifier to the roof as well because the roof is a different mesh. So we have successfully modeled 5 assets. So now we are going to model the main tower of this castle. For the tower, I'm going to start by adding a cube. Ctrl R to add loop cuts. These loop cuts will be for the ridges. So just add that. And selecting those loop cuts and scaling it on each axis. Adding some windows. So here I'm increasing the height of the tower and we'll have to UV unwrap this. So I'm using a basic cube projection for this. Now for most things you can get away with using the cube projection or the cylinder projection. But for complex objects you need to manually mark those seams. But for now cube projection works. Now again making a ridge and increasing the height of the tower. Now duplicate the cathedral window and I'm going to add this cathedral window. And more the variation you have, the better your end result will look. Because generally realistic things have a lot of variation. Okay, so now we are done with the windows. We are going to make the roof and again it has a conical roof. So we are going to add a cone and I'm going to increase the size of this tower a bit more. and adding ridges. Duplicate those windows and duplicate them again for the side portion of this tower. Adding these loop cuts, and these loop cuts will be for the ridges. Now we are going to add the roof material to this cone and make the material a single user material. Now it's time to make the small towers of this tower. So I'm going to duplicate that roof, and Shift A, I'm going to add a cylinder. Add the brick material to the cylinder and extrude it to give it a spherical base. We need to unwrap this, so a basic cylinder unwrap or a sphere unwrap will do. Adding some windows. You need to position these on the 4 corners of this tower. Just roughly align them. You can also rotate them to give some variation. Yeah, that looks quite good. Now we are going to give the roof some bevel. So select all these edges and you can press Ctrl B to give it a bevel. After giving this a bevel, we get a circle on the top. So we are going to move the cursor to that circle and we are going to add a cube, and this cube will be the top cross of this tower. Again, you can completely skip this, but it was in the reference image, so I am just adding that. At this point, I'm going to give this cross a basic specular metallic material. And there you go, our tower looks quite good. So now we have successfully modeled all these assets. So now the fun part, we are going to actually assemble them. So this is how I assemble these. First, move them to the back. And remember, we added that array modifier. So increase the number in the array modifier. And as you can see, as I'm positioning these, the bottom material really gives that seamless look. It's looking as if all these assets are blending in. We are going to add an array modifier to the cathedral. Now don't worry about the optimization and stuff, you can do that later. For now, I'm just going to add the array modifier to that. Add the towers. So Shift D, duplicate them. Go into the front view, position them. Add those 2 towers. Maybe rotate them, give it a random rotation. Add that tower and align that bottom ridge, that is really quite important. Shift D, duplicate that. So duplicate that array of the small building. And Shift D, duplicate the tower. Now I'm just randomly making a castle. You can make all kinds of different castles with this. So you don't need to copy what I'm doing. This looks good. So this looks like a castle. Now we are going to go in the render tab and we are going to add some lights. I just added a HDRI and a basic sun lamp. So this was the final result. And this actually looks really good for games, and in Eevee this looks really good. And it is quite optimized as well. So you can use this in Unreal Engine and stuff. And if you want to download this castle, this project file, you can go to my Patreon page, and I hope you learned something. And if you did, please leave a like down below, it helps a lot. And also subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.